Welcome to another How to Get the Most Out of MinHub tutorial. My name is Kurt Libby. I'm a pastor and the creator of MinHub apps. And everything part of MinHub is built to help you keep track of all the pieces of ministry so you can minister well. Today we're talking about how you can use MinHub to create ministry training lessons and courses for your ministry team. As you grow, you'll want to empower other people, and this helps everyone stay on the same page. When we're through with this tutorial, you'll be able to create trainings. Anyone in your team can go through these training materials when it works for them and log responses to any of your questions right in the MinHub app. This is a small group training we'll be creating, and this is what it looks like. So you probably know that there are 4 MinHub ministry apps: kids, youth, college, and groups. Sometimes there are some nuances between the different apps and their features, but the Academy works the same in all 4 apps. So if you learn how to do it in one app, you can help create ministry training lessons in all 4 apps. Okay, so first you'll want to log into your profile and navigate to the Academy tab. That's this little graduation cap down here at the bottom. If you're the ministry leader, you'll be able to see this plus button up here. And if you want anyone else to be able to help with creating or editing these lessons, you'll want to add them as an Academy admin in this tab, in the More tab, under Staff Roles. That's where you can add them. And when people have the staff roles, you'll see these little handles so that things can get dragged around. And then they also have an edit menu when they can once the lessons are created. But if they are not an admin, they can just log in and they actually see the format that you've created where you've organized it the way that you want, and they can't reorder that. If you're just using MinHub for free on your one device, you probably don't have other staff connected on MinHub yet, so this Academy thing isn't going to help very much. But if you want to start connecting more devices so you can equip and empower your volunteers, they can see all these lessons, take these lessons, and show you that they've done them, please check out minhubsync.com. That's where you can start a subscription. It's got a 30-day free trial. It creates a cloud database that your whole ministry team can connect to from their own devices in their own profiles, so they can take these Academy lessons and do so much more. So check it out again. It's minhubsync.com. So to get started, I'm going to tap the plus button up here to add a new lesson. And then I'm going to add a lesson and description, lesson title and a description up here at the top. And these will simply be shown at the top of the lesson and can give context for anyone attempting the lesson. Because all staff in your ministry app will see all of the lessons, it may be useful to give some context of who the lesson is for to help people know they're in the right place. And the next thing that you'll want to do is create a category, and this will group your ministry, your lessons together in a way that makes sense for your ministry. So if I tap on select category, you can see I've got board trainings, disciplers, and the worship team in here. And I'm actually going to add a new category because today we're going to add in a small group leader training. So this is, and then we can select a color for this. So our life groups are a greenish color. Try to match the one that we want. Let's go like that. And then, so now I got a small group leader training category. So back on the Academy tab screen, you'll see these little handles that we can drag stuff around with. But on the bottom one, that's where you would drag around the entire category, like if you want to move the whole category up or down. But you can also tap on edit category and change it. So let's say the worship team is actually going to be more of like a fuchsia color, sweet. And then I tap in the middle, and that will hit the selected color change, and now we've got a new color for that team. You can drag these around to get them in the right order. Like let's say you want to have the leadership 101 above or below. You can drag those around as well. Categories will not show up here. Like we just created this small group leader training. On the screen where your volunteers and staff log in that are not admins, they won't see that category unless there's actually going to be some lessons in that. So let's jump back into creating the lesson. As I do when I'm making these videos or when you're crafting the lesson, you'll probably want to plan out the whole lesson in another format. It's not super easy to do everything on your phone. So I use Notion, but you could use Google Docs or a Notes app or whatever works for you. And then I'm going to copy in the pieces. Once you understand the blocks, you'll get it. But I copy in the pieces and create the lesson out of the blocks. And so let's go head back in and see what that looks like. So back here in the lesson, I've already added a title and a description so that you don't have to watch me type it all, but that's what you put up there at the top. So we've got, then there are 6 different kinds of blocks, types of blocks that you can add to your lesson. So if you tap on this plus button right here, it gives you the different blocks and you're going to add this. And again, this is kind of like creating an event plan where each new block is going to add underneath. So if you have your order ahead of time, it makes it really easy. If not, you can drag those around, but it makes it a lot easier if you just start at the beginning and add them as you go. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to swap over to, actually before that. So the heading, you can add a heading is larger text that goes above other text typically. So you have a heading, text, images that you can add. You can add videos that are the YouTube embedded videos. These can be listed or unlisted videos. So if you have some leader training that you've created just for your church, but it's not listed on your YouTube channel, that's fine. You can actually include that link in here and it will embed it in the lesson so that people can watch that on their devices. Then links. So if you need to send people out, so let's say you've invested in some like Right Now media or something else that you're like, hey, here's go get a login and go to this link and go watch this thing because you can't embed it. You can add those links as well. And then the last thing is questions. Questions are really good for assessing that people have learned. And so no one can mark a lesson complete unless they've actually gone through all the questions. So headings and texts are used the most when you actually are setting up lessons. So I'm going to start with a heading and I'm going to go over here into Notion and see that I've created this heading over here. So I'm just going to copy this and come in here and paste that in. Now I've got a heading. Then the next thing, if I go look at this, is text. And actually, it looks like I wanted to have the video show up right above this. So I'm going to grab this video link, which is just the information after the slash. And you'll see that in here when I add a video. Tap to add video. And so this is the end of the link. If you have a longer link from YouTube, this section here tells you how to get the right information. It's basically everything between the equals sign and the ampersand, the and sign. So I'm gonna hit save on that guy, and then I'm gonna hold to drag and then drag this one up above. All right, so now I've got my video and my heading. Then I've got some text that I've typed out. So I'll just copy all of it and I'll delete that text part. So copy, nope, that's my heading. Also, just quick note over here, there's some extra room for you to drag, which sometimes it's hard to drag once it fills up. So you might need to use that on the side if it's difficult to drag. I'm going to paste this in here. All right, I don't need the text part at the beginning. Oops. And then another plus sign, and we're going to go. So I've got 2 questions. 1 question. And then the second question. And these come out of the video, but you can create sequences. So you could do like a heading, text, video, question, heading, text, video, question. You could create it however you want to create it. That's the great part about this, is that it's extremely modular. You can create it however you want to create it. So I'm gonna, now that these are all done, I'm gonna hit create. And now down here in my small group leader training, which I'm just gonna drag this guy up here to the top because that's what we're dealing with right now. and I'm going to tap on that, and this is kind of how people will see it. So we've got the heading up here, or sorry, the description and the title, and the uh, category up here at the top. Now, this staff completed section, nobody's going to see that unless they're an admin, but this helps you see that people have taken it. And then I've got my video, I've got my heading, you see in the cut with the color, I've got some text, and then I've got questions and places for them to respond. And you can see here, if I hit mark lesson complete, it's going to be like, please answer the questions. You can't mark it complete until you've actually answered those. Okay, so I'm going to show you if I log in as Blanche Devereaux, who's one of our women's group leaders. You can see in here that she's taken the discipleship class, but she's got this new training up here. And again, all the handles are gone, so she's not being able to edit any of these, but she can jump into the Until Then small group and see all that information and mark it as complete when she is done. So I'm just, for the sake of time, I'm just going to answer both of these questions, save that response, and then save that response. Now that they're both saved, I can mark the lesson as complete, and now it's complete. Now I'm going to log back in as Eugene Peterson, who is our ministry leader for this ministry, and go to the Academy tab and go to the Until Then small group, and I can see that Blanche has completed it and the date that she completed it. So if I tap on the little arrow button, then I can see staff responses, so different things that Blanche has said. And so these are going to group by question. So it'll have the first question and then all the responses that have come in from all the different staff members underneath it. But if I tap on Blanche's picture, then I can view just her responses, which in this case looks the same, but it will look different as you have more leaders. You can also text all the people that have if you want to send text to all the people that have completed it, like let's say you have an update and you want to, there's new information about one of the things that you've done. For instance, in the youth ministry, we had to do a mandated reporter training every year, and so after a year, maybe text everybody and say, okay, we have to do it again. There's a new lesson in there. It's mandated reporting 2023 or whatever, and then they have to go in and do it. It allows you to quickly text. You can also search for people if there's a lot of them in there and you want to see if a certain person has done that. It will automatically filter down, and then you can tap on the report button as well, and you can export all the people that have done this into a CSV if you want to follow up somewhere else or you need to report that to someone. So I think that's about it for the Academy. Let me go back and just make sure. So people do see a little check mark if it has been done. Once a lesson has been done, you can jump in and see if there were questions. There aren't any questions in this one, but if there were questions, you can actually go in and update your answers if you want to. But you can also see here, let's look at this, staff completed. Because there's no questions, there's no responses. If you need to edit anything, you just tap on the edit button and then you can come in here. And if you need to remove a block, I don't think I covered this, that little minus sign on the upper right will allow you to edit or to remove the block. When you hit it, it will make sure that you actually wanted to remove it, just so you don't accidentally remove anything that needs to be in there. And I think that's it. So again, I hope that you can think of all the different ways that you could create trainings and get information disseminated to your church, to your staff, to your volunteers. This is in the Groups app, which is a great way to say get your board. If you have a church board, get them updated about information. Do onboarding for new board members. Different teams can use this to get their training out. But you could also do that specifically in the kids app, the youth app, and the college app as well. So I think that's it for the Academy. So again, the goal here is to help you keep track of all the pieces of ministry so that you can minister well. And you really can create any kind of ministry training and not have to get everyone together in the same room at the same time to make sure they know the latest information. You can also extend any training information that you've invested in for your church or ministry by sharing it through the Academy. If you need any help with any of this, please reach out at support@minhubapp.com. And if you have any ideas on how we can improve the Academy and MinHub apps, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how it's working for you and how we can improve it in the months and years to come. That's it for now. Have a great day.